that we oppose wasteful and unnecessary government borrowing and spending. And last but not least, we elect good representatives and we make sure we remove bad ones. That's all, folks. Goodness, I guess we're right about it at our hour. We need to do a few more things tonight. So if you have questions, let's try to keep them really concise, and we'll try to wrap this up in just a few minutes if we can.
So how can the federal government tell Boeing that they cannot establish plants in South Carolina or any other state for that matter? How can they even possibly do that?
Because President Obama used a recess appointment of a gentleman who's a far-left ACLU attorney. And he's using the authority of the National Labor Relations Board. I've been there. I've visited that location and lost some of my software there years ago. And they decide that they're going to flex their muscles, and this organization is going to impose a will. It's unconstitutional.
And if they can do that, we have no freedom. We have no freedom. And that's absurd. I mean, that is, when I first heard about that, I thought someone was saying something wrong. I thought it was a misstatement. And then I read it in the Wall Street Journal. And I thought, oh my God.
Yeah, the problem that we need to counter is that a place like South Carolina is a right to work state. We need to create a right to work nation. And basically, this is strong on them. They're coming in. National Labor Relations Board wants to sue Boeing to keep them from opening that plant.
Is that an opportunity for impeachment of members of that board by Congress?
Unfortunately, these are appointed members. So in other words, they're not elected, they're appointed. The gentleman in question is a recess appointment. So he wasn't even confirmed by Congress. He was too radical. Congress didn't want to confirm him. And so, goodness, I think what Boeing should do is sue the federal government over it. And of course, that's expensive. And Boeing has no friends at the Justice Department. I don't think anybody in this room has a friend at the Justice Department. So, yeah, it's completely unconstitutional to be able to go in there and be completely against what our framers and founders wanted for the federal government.
I just want to clarify one thing. You're talking about taxes, which Gus was alluding to here. On page 154 on footnote 481 in here, it goes on to say that the Supreme Court agreed that income taxes were direct and had to be apportioned among the states. And that was Pollock versus Farmers Loan and Trust Company.
Okay.
Then it goes on to say that the 16th Amendment was adopted to reverse the Pollock case. I want to point out that the 16th Amendment has never been legally ratified. And it has been proven by Bill Benson, who was a investigator for the Department of Revenue out of Chicago, Illinois. He's went to every state of the union. He's got certified letters showing that not one state ratified the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment does not exist.
That was under the Wilson administration. And goodness, I mean, I haven't done enough research to know the details on that. What it boils down to, if it can be proven that, goodness, you sue the federal government over it. The problem that we're running into, I told you that I work with a group of people who are trying to pass a balanced budget amendment at the state level. We've contacted the Senate, the Congress, to find out how many applications have been sent in since the 1980s for a balanced budget amendment. In other words, the process called in the Constitution is that the various states vote upon and send applications to Congress. They don't even have copies of the records. And so they've never maintained copies of the records.
Well, actually, the records have been retained. He has a certified letter from Washington, D.C.
So what we have to do, what basically we have to do, for example, with a balanced budget amendment for the last 30 years, is we're doing all kinds of research. We're going to states trying to get copies of the documents that they sent to Congress, things like that. So even though Constitution calls out a requirement that these applications are sent to Congress, nobody at Congress is taking responsibility, like the Secretary of the Senate, the Secretary of the House. Taking the responsibility of keeping these documents in a safe place.
Also, the Supreme Court rules 5 separate times that your labor is your property, therefore it must be taxed. Only for the body.
Yeah, when you get into case laws in particular, it's amazing. Some of the things that the judges have come up with. I mentioned earlier on in the course that in the 1930s there was a Supreme Court justice who decided that because one of the framers and the founders, Alexander Hamilton, had this notion that Congress should be allowed to spend money any way it wanted. That Alexander Hamilton had that notion prior to the ratification of the Constitution. He tempered that view and didn't promote that view during the ratification process, and then brought it back up after the ratification process. This justice decided, based upon that one founder, that he made a ruling that basically opened up the floodgates in the 1930s that allowed Congress to spend money any way that they wanted. So, as far as judicial activism, it's a scary thing. How about just one more?
Well, we were talking about the title of the board.
Right.
Well, legislative have a title of the board. How many lawyers are there in Congress and the Senate?
Too many, but probably 99%.
Okay,
No,
99%. And what is the title? It's this one. And it's the title of the bill that's granted by the Queen of England. And the Bar Association is subservient to the
Yeah, goodness, again, I'm having to get on that.
Is we'll read it, we'll go back and look at that approval from the original 13th Amendment and compare it to what they rewrote, what they rewrote